would you look and see if my police report's in there? Thank you. Agendas have been provided. Just to review that, we will go by the agenda. There are a couple of changes that are not major changes as we go to them. Get with them. Becky, since Sharon's not here, you're taking the show on council members are attendance. Thank you. Okay, water project is update first. And I've got a change order there, but that's not tonight because we don't have that yet. And you want to tell us, kind of give us an update on what happened last week?
Yes. On the start of the dig, which is located on the east side of the railroad tracks up here, ISI was digging to put a bore in where the engineers thought this was going to be the best place for a bore. And when they got down towards the main, there were two service lines that were sticking up probably about 12 inches that the excavator had hooked and tore them out. For example, in the service to those, that service line to that service, which was two service lines, ran at an angle. Why, I don't know. It wasn't like the pit, the service pit was down here, and for some reason back here, it was at an angle, plus it was on top and ran this high and hooked the service lines. And then when we were digging there, or had ISI, they already had a hole in their excavator there. When they dug us a spot to let some of the water drain off to start repairing the leak to the north of which the well house is to the south, for some reason it was discovered that crossed under the, has to have crossed under the main again. I'm assuming that's where it's at, obviously. Assumption. So, with that being said, that where we're going to bore the hole, that shoots that back up. So that's what happened now. So it's being recalculated and dealing with the railroad on just to the north of the actual crossing of the railroad tracks. The road is hard to very north. Hard to where we go under it. Yeah, over the test, yes, go under it now.
And the folks that get the water line, that's the folks that are putting in the water service.
Right, but no, not their fault.
No.
So that's what happened.
Okay. We did hear from, in all of this, there was lots of back and forth. Originally, we thought we were going to have a $22,000 change order. It turned out to be not. That it was easier to fix than originally thought, correct?
I don't know what, yeah,
Well, I
well.
mean, the fix, you only had to do 4 foot of pipe rather than the whole big.
Oh, yeah, yes, we did not have to go dig on the west side of the tracks and try to find where the casing coming, because it also was leaking inside the casing, but it was only a casing probably about 2 feet at the most. It was where to cut a hole in the casing at the top.
Not too bad. Not the $22,000 for it, so we came out okay on that. But the big problem, the problem right now is the fact that the railroad, because of the change, they would like to have us pay them a $15,000 fee. So Lee and I will be talking with the railroad this week. We have until the 11th to get it resolved, but I think we can get it resolved.
That's just no way around the railroad.
$15,000 to move it. So we will see what we can do on that, but I think I'm confident we can come up with some kind of a solution. Did you have anything else on the water? Grant?
Tower.
Pardon?
Tower. On the water tower, that has been delayed due to the fact that when Wessler, the inspection firm, checked the in-shop wells, the welding that is done in-house for it, they checked it one time and out of 12 wells, only 2 passed. They tore it apart, cut it, re-welded it, and again, out of 12, only 2 passed. So after it being chopped up like that, they were going to order new steel. The steel was fine, but after they had to cut on it twice, they were talking, at least that's what was left in my court.
You mean a fabricated the new tank?
They had brought the normal in-house welders weren't there. They brought 2 field welders in. Now that's still not comforting because you still need field welders when we get them here, but they have requested that those 2 will not be involved in the project whatsoever. So that's another thing. The 2 field welders that they brought in-house to do that are not going to be on the.
Yeah. How far is this?
I don't really have a date yet because the last I heard it was still up in the air on what the steel issue was.
We were looking at that.
No. Yeah, the timeline was more end of the 1st of July. We'll still have it in.
Well,
before September.
yeah. For some reason they first come to mind, but I don't know.
But that's not the time of the switchover.
No, that's,
Yeah.
oh, no, that was when the
Yeah.
tower train
Okay.
put up.
Yeah, I'm thinking May first because they were going to be, I think they were also going to be set up here. So it's going to be
Yeah.
kind of chaotic. Well, it's definitely going to be probably chaotic now because like I said, I was going to try to get this more done and ready to plumb. That's one of their main things that they were going to do is have this ready to plumb, and that way they wouldn't have to worry about Phoenix when they come in and say, hey, tower's ready, let's go. So that's a setback there, and that's not nothing to do with it. Well, that one has nothing to do with that, so.
So the truck concrete, well number 4 is out of there now. So everything.
Well, Ford is done, other than, the electrical and subject, I'll just go ahead
Go ahead.
and go on.
Yeah.
So come Friday late afternoon, I discovered that well 3, which is located underneath the tower, it is not pumping. So we're, with that well 1 being out of service because Bass and Lowe's working on it, we only had well 2 working, which is inside the tower building. So, and it was not filling the tower, it was keeping it up, decent, but if we had a fire or something like that, or obviously it would have. But fortunately, Bass and Lowe's was working down here on well 1, and I went and talked to them, and they come and checked it out, and the motor was bad and it was running out. So I have no idea what that was going to be. They had to come Saturday, and what they did was they used the motor from well 1 temporarily to run well 3. Because well 1's getting in order, well 3 will be getting in order, which well 3 is scheduled for the next week to be. Yeah, but yeah, well 3 went out, so we brought it back. I mean, they got it back online Saturday, and we're back up to normal now.
Is any of the work they did on Saturday work that would have been a part of the contract that we're not spending that money in addition?
Well,
or is this just?
yes and no. I mean, yes, it would have been because they are pulling the pump and replacing the motor, but the steps are that they have to pull the pump out, clean the well and everything, and then install the new motor and all that.
So they still have to pull it in?
Yes.
But the equipment that we bought, the motor we bought, that was going to be a part of the deal.
Well, we just used the old motor from well 1 because it's getting the new motor.
I'm sorry, I think.
They're just temporarily using that motor in well 3.
Sorry. Got it.
And
Okay.
that's
Have you guys any questions on the water grant? Okay, now, stormwater, I have an email. Jeff and I met with Emily and Alex, I think his name is Alex. Anyway, we met with them. We have another meeting this Wednesday at 10 a.m. That was 30% design completion. We have a meeting Wednesday, 60% of the plan's done. So following that meeting, the next thing that they'll come up with is we'll have a meeting the last week of April, and then at our council meeting on May 2nd, they're going to ask for permission to advertise the project to bid. So our next meeting, we should have everything done on the storms to get ready for bid.
not counting Wednesday.
Pardon?
Next
April, no, May 2nd.
Yeah,
She
and then she was also, I think if it was right, her intention for it to come tonight, but she
Yes,
can't.
yeah,
So
yeah, she was going to be here this
explain
evening.
anything you folks that you need to do. I'm sure that'll be rescheduled.
Yeah, and drawings and everything, they had to make very few changes, so. Okay, we'll go ahead and see, approval of minutes. Did everyone receive copies of the March 7th council meeting? Any additions or corrections? Documents stand approved as submitted. And we'll move on to financial position. First at the revenue report. Okay, everybody looking at the revenue report? Can't find it? This one. There you go. Okay.
I'm not sure then.
That's the revenue. Anybody have any comments on the revenue? Has Paul Ford ever paid? No. Health PTO. It's 42,000, I think, something like that. It's, yeah. Yeah, no, we haven't received any money.
It is a judgment, right?
Yes, it's a judgment, but he's not working, and he's not, he has no license. Okay. Nobody have any questions on income, so we'll set that one. How about the appropriation or the fund report, what it goes to next? Appropriation report, anybody have any comments on that? Okay. Anybody have any questions? You okay with it, Walter? Dixie, you okay with it? Dan? Okay. You okay with it? Okay. So we'll look at the fund report. We had to pay, you know, some wastewater allowance, or stormwater allowance went down substantially. We had to pay a large payment to, on that storm grant. And it had to come out of our match, so that was paid out of that. Any questions on the fund report? Okay. Well, we'll look at payroll, pay file. Any questions on the pay file? Pretty standard. Is there a motion to accept pay file? Payroll? Need a motion, Ken? Thank you. Kenny, is there a second? Okay, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Next one we'll look at is our claims report, accounts payable register. We looked at the claims tonight, we reviewed those. Any questions? Any questions on the claims? Is there a motion to pay claims?
I'll do it. Pay the claims as presented.
Okay, is there a second? All those in favor say aye. All right, opposed, same sign. Okay, so we have a note from Sharon. Last month I failed to enter 2 checks in the software system to enable the Keystone for the software renewal for key billing. So both checks are on this docket, coming from the wastewater and stormwater. She's in the invoice for Duke Energy. She overpaid it by $41, and this will be a credit on the next bill. And she said that attached is Steve Brock's explanation. Concerning 2 checks written from the operating fund, water operating fund for $3,000 and $3,300. Did she attach it? We have, you mean his email? Yeah. Yeah. I was confused on it though. He said she paid that out of the water operating fund for $3,000 and $3,300. Do you have that, Lee?
I looked at it a minute ago, yeah, here it is.
The note that she has to council member, then it takes, okay, so then she said the town received money from SRF to pay these invoices as a box was marked in error on the disbursement request 89. He instructed me to deposit the check and pay the invoices from those funds. So, well, she's not here. Do you know if she deposited that into the water operating?
I do not know.
I wasn't sure why it would have been paid water operating. I guess we won't know. Huh.
Water operating?
That's what she has on her thing there. She paid it out of water operating, and I don't understand why it would have been paid out of water operating.
Where is, checks that you explained?
Let's see. Water operating.
So they sent it back, right?
Okay. 2 checks written from water operating.
And it's for $6,300, right? Or $6,300, yeah. 63, pardon?
6330.
Okay.
so Steve says, well, go ahead and deposit and then pay the bills,
Uh-huh.
right? Okay.
But
So,
would it go through water operating, or are we not, do we not keep the SRF funds separate?
well,
Water
I
operating?
would think, but do we have a separate account? Do we have an account other than water operating?
I was looking for that.
And I understand your point, that I've got not be commingling the money with our
Yeah,
with our
exactly.
billing receipts, but, and I guess if we don't, we could, and probably ought to. Is there
I don't know how we would keep our balance.
No, I know, I mean, I think we
Yeah.
ought to try to get in front of this and set up a separate account now.
Well, okay, I'm gonna set that aside, and I'll check with Steve on
I would
that.
think Sharon would prefer that too, just for the ease of keeping track of it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just so it's kept in a different jar than all the other activity, all the other receipts and water.
Because we have, on the fund report, she had state grant fund, which I think that would be over. You got your fund report? Oh, I do. Anyway, she got a state grant fund, which would be, I would think, would be over. Then the water utility operating, which would be operating, and she's got 604 is water grant construction expenses, and I think that would have been where the SRF funds were. No?
The water grant construction expenses?
I would think that would be the SRF expenses.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Well, we will clarify that before our next meeting.
But do we,
Stick that and talk to Steve on the phone.
revenue, so here's a pretty good example. If we look at revenue year to date and water utility operating month, we don't know whether that's 6,300 or not,
No,
do we?
no.
Okay. Yeah, we probably better sort that one out.
Okay,
I can't imagine that SRF that they're okay with the money being commingled like that. They surely don't want that to happen. I don't believe you.
okay, so then we have, she has a file here, grant claims, and there are 3 of them that she has for us tonight. Okay? Kenna Consulting for $5,000, and that's their April payment for grant administration. You have a copy of that one. And then she gave you a copy of one from Wessler, $27,135, and that's payable to Phoenix on the water tower. And that comes out of SRF. See what I mean? It really needs to be kept separate.
Yeah.
And then we have one to Wessler for $17,445, and that's for engineering fees, and that comes out of SRF. So we have these 3 to approve tonight.
That's already in the group that
No. Oh, that was last month's. I'm confused. I know because there was some in there one day.
I read.
Is it these 3? Oh.
I don't know, there's one for 17, there's one for 5 in the group.
And then, can you look at those? Oh,
The green ones,
The green ones, see if that's,
green revenue, very.
there's 2 checks here for Kenna Consulting, but that's for February and March for $5,000. Now, I don't know what the, well, what we probably need to do is go ahead and approve these, and then, yeah, well, we have to pay them, yeah. Okay, so I'll need a motion to pay these 3 claims on the grant, $5,000 to Kenna, $27,135, and that does have the retained account, and then the $17,445 to Westland. motion to pay those claims? I'll make a motion to approve. Okay, is there a second? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, you give that back to Becky then. There's an additional invoice in there that we don't have a copy of, so we're going to vote on it tonight.
Okay, I was gonna say, they're not in here, that 17,001 in this. That's the Bobcat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, there's 70,000 Webster too.
Yeah, but that's in that spec.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So we know what we got.
I'm sure we'll sort it out for the next meeting. There you go, Missy. Okay, so we did financial review, planning, wastewater adjustments. Okay, Miss, you got one?
You have one.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was an outside hydrant, but I think they were talking about like a spigot. Is that what it was?
Outside.
Okay. And so the total adjustment would be for $41.04. It occurred on 2 billing cycles because they didn't fix it immediately.
It was an old spigot, probably made in the thirties. Can't get parts for it.
And it was in the winter, so.
Okay, is there a motion to give this $41.04 credit? I'll make that motion. Okay, is there a second? I'll second. All those, is there discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Okay,
Hey, can I have a minute? So, I was trying to fumble through there and find this, unless it's part of this. Kennet Consulting also has this $18,000 on the claims docket. But you're saying we don't have an invoice?
no, we approved that last month.
We did, so it wasn't on last month's claims docket?
No, it was
So
not.
you pre-approved it or
Yeah, we
approved that?
pre-approved it
Okay,
because
so
that
this just
was-
catches up with it?
That,
Okay.
yeah, that was for, that had to come out of our
Okay,
cash.
sorry if
No.
if I was looking while you were explaining that, but
That's
you mentioned it,
okay.
and I was trying to find it, and it's right here at the back, so.
That's okay.
Okay.
Just can go back. Okay, while we have Becky going here, anybody have any comments on the building permits? I appreciate getting this, I can tell you. I get calls. You're welcome. And it looks like we're doing a better job getting our inspection fees.
We are, yeah, and I did create a form for meter-based
That's
tax,
on,
and I started journaling, logging everything.
okay.
We hear you on the, construction that's been doing on the line. We ever hear anything on that? I don't think we will.
Park?
Yeah. It was park.
Park?
Yeah. I realized it was park after you left.
Oh, it's supposed to be on. Okay. Whichever.
Okay. Anybody got any more financial business? We'll leave the DPW. Mr. Downing?
Patching, we started patching, we're getting hit and miss. First we started our disinfection season, so we got that on Wednesday. I ordered, the state bid came in early for some reason, or the requirement to say how much the municipality wants came in earlier than the last 3 years. The state wanted it, it's normally on the second week of April, well, they wanted it like 2 weeks ago, so I discussed it. And I ordered, we don't know what the price is, but it's going to be, it's a state bid, so we get it on the blanket bid. But I went ahead and ordered 30 ton for us. It is the treated version. We are committed, we have to take 80% of that, which is 24 tons, or we can take up to, I think, 125%, which is 37.5 tons. So, but we are committed to take at least 24 tons, up to 30 tons. I passed this around at one time or another. I want to show everyone. Trash can lids for the receptacles on the main street. We've always used plexiglass before, there's 9 of them, so I think that would fit. I believe that fits the 62 something away.
Is that how many trash cans are 9?
Yes. So, I mean, that's totally up to the board. I just suggested out there. Number one, yes, it does help them because they don't get filled with rainwater, and I think they would stick out a little bit. Just my opinion, they would look nice.
Don't worry about that.
No dog in that fight whatsoever. So it's just for the town.
We had it going down on my, down in my parade.
How worried I am, try.
You have to install my parade day.
Yes, if they're, yes. We'll-
They'll do city council.
Hey, if they don't come in, we'll burn the midnight oil again, this whole break after here.
Okay.
Now, let me back up here a second. Yeah, I don't know. Evidently, Mary, on the stuff that you ordered, the 30 tons or whatever you put in.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
What is it?
Road salt, treated salt. Don't know what the price is gonna be at. Last year's state bid was $80-some, but I mean, we're all, as long as we piggyback on the state bid, we're all good, I believe.
And we pick it up when we need it, or?
No, we have to take delivery at a certain date, but see, the contract's not gonna be awarded until like June or July.
Okay. So we should,
We should have our bars
all
out.
line up. Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, what do you guys want to do on those tops for those trash cans?
Great. Great.
Do you want to buy them? What do you think?
I thought you want to know what color. Doing $62 for how?
6228, it says,
They're cheaper than red.
yeah, a lot of 6 or more.
And we're buying how many?
9. He said we have 9 trash cans.
Yes.
You know Wilbur made those.
Yeah.
Wilbur. Derringer, you know Wilbur, he died, what, 5 or 6 years ago?
What do you know, we can go to senior center there?
Yeah, well, you did the secret set, your mom would have known. She
I
can
think
go
there's,
see.
you probably have
She
to
said
have
make
an
her
extra
go.
one go there, just.
I mean, that way we can cover out on the
Yeah,
side.
I know that we purchased 10 of those gray tops for the trash cans down here for 62.
28 is what the price.
60 people
Each.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay.
I'm getting a bid together on the Profusion, which is the sludge stuff. To see, we're just comparing the numbers to see what the Biochem did compared to this new stuff that we used this last year. So I'll just have that for the next meeting. The last thing is our annual Indiana Rural Water Association conference in Columbus is, anyway, the day, there's one day that normally highlights the most of it, and that's Tuesday, April 19th, and it would benefit Becky and Bobby and myself to go to that. All 3 of us. So that has to attend, that's okay. Good morning. It's the only conference we go usually at Robin, we always go to it.
That's something by your lunch, right?
Yeah, usually, yes.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion that those 3 attend that conference on April 19th? Second? All second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Okay, now I have one other question for you. I got one other question. for
Yes.
you. Okay, were you going to tell them that the jetter doesn't work?
Oh, you're right, I forgot about that. The old jetter.
The old jetter.
The old jetter. The old boy can't really find parts for it. I know that's shocking to everybody. So, we've got one vague possibility. We located one in Logan that's identical, but what the status of it is, I don't know. So, So, and that's our sewer jetter, which cleans out all the roots and everything, when we have to stop up sewer and all that.
Okay, now you're saying you located one that's identical to the one we had.
Right, but I do not know if, I mean, it could be just the, it could just be the box. It looks, other than it's blue, it's identical. Other than
What does a jetter, what does a new jetter cost? A lot of money. I know a lot of money.
Well, just so you know that the jetter doesn't work. Now, we can use the jetter.
I mean, I tried last year to start a maintenance schedule where I get a farmer to come down and has a big old back truck that has cutters on it. And they go through it, they go through different lines each year to try to help prevent us from having an emergency situation where we have to use it. But that doesn't always.
And you said when they come down, that's so much per day.
That's a day.
That's not just one hook.
No, that's a day, but they're out of Noblesville, so there eats up a lot of time right there. But they made us a deal last year on how many they do. So
Okay.
we'll try to get them up again this year too, regardless of what we do with it. I mean, that's just because it's got an actual cutting system on it. That's what we had to use on Colonel Barnett here 2 or 3 years ago, but we did not get to it at all. But I will keep plugging at it, see if we can get it. This is a fun harvest. But I'll let you know next week.
Okay. Everybody knows the jetter.
Well, everything is good.
Okay, anybody have anything else for DPW? Okay, we'll move on. Mr. Hartman, Police Department.
Okay, total calls last month is 37, that was up from 33 this month. It's getting warmer out there, most of the time. County took 6 calls for us. Top call types last month, we had 4 alarms, 5 attempt locates, 3 agency assist, and 3 unarmed persons. Total citations last month were 12, of which 6 were ordinance violations, 7 state statute, 58 warnings issued, and 5 arrests. And the only other thing I have is I want to let you know that Officer Wallace made a drug arrest this weekend. I did get a lot of bills at about 5.5 grams. So he's working with the prosecutor's office now to proceed with that.
Okay, the 58 warnings, that's in 1 month again.
Yes.
Now, now I come up with 13 on the citations, not 12. I'm confused here when I go across here, just like, let's look at your month. So for you, for the month, you had 2 arrests, you had 3 citations, you had 4 ordinance violations, right?
Yes.
1 state statute, and you had 12 warnings.
Yes.
Okay. So then when I come down to Deputy Connors, he had no arrests, he had no citations, he had no ordinance violations, he had no state statutes, and you have 1, but then you've got this number 2 down here below. What's that 2 for?
It's the same column for warnings.
Does that line up?
You have 3 total.
Is that line up? I think, okay. Okay, so he had 3 total. Then, off with Deputy Swank, he had 3 arrests, he had 9 citations, 2 ordinance violations, 7 state statutes, and 18 warnings, right?
Correct.
Okay. And then your reserves, you had, no, this was for March, so the rest must have been after April. Okay. So we had 0 arrests, 1 citation, 1 ordinance violation, and 28 warnings, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I love it, you took it, 30-some warnings, had 40-some warnings the last month. Okay, will you write a warning ticket? Explain to me what happened.
Any questions for Marvin on his report?
The calendar's on the back page too. I don't know if I had given one last month or not.
Okay. At our meeting last month, as we reviewed the claims, we discovered that our police officers have used town funds derived from their uniform and equipment allowance to purchase items that are well outside the scope of usual and necessary clothing and equipment. We also learned that our officers believe that items they choose to purchase with town money actually belongs to them. This is contrary to Indiana State Board of Accounts published policy. Over the past 30 days, the council has reviewed police department spending and specific purchases. The town marshal and clerk treasurer have assisted us with summaries, assets, lists, and invoices. We're not finished with our review, but here's some of what we've learned so far. Total department spending over the last 4 years. This includes everything from general account and LECE, law enforcement continuing education fund. This does not include car or gasoline. 2012 expenditures were $2,786.87. 2013 expenses were $3,827.18. 2014 expenses were $6,489.45. 2015 expenses were $9,601.58. Town funds have been used to purchase numerous guns, several of which are considered by our officers as personal guns not used on the job, and all of which our officers believe belong to them, not the town. Our town marshal used town money along with his own money to purchase a gun safe that is kept at his residence. In 2015, 55 rounds of ammunition were purchased.
500.
Oh, 5,500, yeah. 5,500 rounds of ammunition were purchased with town money. 3,000 of those rounds are considered practice rounds for AR rifles. The town marshal has pre-purchased tires for the car he drives that are not in the town's possession, and that until last week no one knew about. Between 2012 and 2015, the police department spending rose 245%. In 2014, we were paying $113 a month for the GPS out of the general fund, and we moved that to public safety last year, and the spending still increased. Spending seems to be out of control. More investigation and review is needed. The town needs to adopt a clear policy, and we will. The status of guns and other items purchased by officers with town monies needs to be decided. At this point, any item purchased, even in part with town money, belongs to the town. Much more discussion will be needed to resolve the status of those items purchased in part with town money and personal officer funds. In the meantime, a department improvement plan addressing these and other issues is in order.
So the improvement plan that was distributed, and I think all of you reviewed, and I think that sort of decided by consensus needs to be approval. I have copies. And I think just take one, send it around all the way, make sure Marvin gets one. During the course of the marshal's performance evaluation for this year, and then, I guess, ultimately the review of some of these items that Joelle just described. This improvement plan was drafted. I think all of you have seen it. You've not met on it before, have not taken any action on it before. I anticipate that you will approve it, but if it is the council's desire to adopt this improvement plan and implement it, then you will need to take action to do that.
Did you have another copy?
Yeah, I had 7 of them. I messed up. Well, I took 2. Yeah, thanks. And so, if you're wanting to adopt it and implement it, like I was saying, you'll need to do that by way of action tonight. The only change made on it since it was distributed
my thinking is, well, I'd like to see us adopt it. And you got it, the way I read this, you got an action plan here that says May 1st, 2016. All right.
Well, which one is that?
I'm on number 5.
He's supposed to submit to his protocol.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm okay with that date.
Well, that was with regard to only that.
Right.
Yeah.
That I have any issue.
Which would be to come up with a protocol for advertising, interviewing, researching, and training reserve officers.
Right.
Some of this is practices I think have already been implemented. I think Marshall McGregor in the last couple of weeks has started some of this. But I think it's important to sort of take a snapshot now as a benchmark and then have sort of a plan in order to gauge how progress is being made from this point going forward. And I don't think we can go back to these other issues in a minute, I guess, but I don't think that the implementation of the plan takes off the table or resolves any of the issues Joellen just referred to in the way of these of spending and the status of some of the items that were purchased. I do want to talk about that a little bit more, but for now, since you have this plan in front of you, I think if you're inclined to take action on it, I wouldn't distract you from doing that. If you need to discuss it or you need to spend more time reviewing it before you act on it, we can certainly do that too.
Well, we've all received a copy of this. We had time to have to do it, if there was any changes that were on the
Like I said, the only change with regard to the
I mean, to me, it looks like an improvement plan.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the improvement plan dated April 4, 2016,
and implement it effective
and then
tonight.
effective immediately.
I'll second.
Discussion? Floor is open. Any discussion, Walter? Dixie, any discussion? Question, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that motion carries. I did want to clarify on the spending, I did send an email to Mr. Caldwell, the State Board of Accounts, who's over our area, and you received a copy of that, right? And he said, and it's one of the questions, asking me 3 questions, but one of them specifically, I asked for clarification. In January 2015, Deputy Jeff Connors purchased an assault rifle of over $600 and submitted the receipt for reimbursement using the money from the appropriation line out of general fund. The town marshal approved it. We wrote a check to him to reimburse him for this purchase and have the invoice showing proof of purchase. Who does this assault rifle belong to? And Mr. Caldwell says the assault rifle belongs to the town of Morgantown. As you've seen, the town has no procedure in place for allowances for officers' expenses, and it would be their audit position, anything purchased by town funds is town equipment. So we have that understanding, right? Okay.
I want to make sure the council knows, I mean, this isn't Marlon McGregor, this is the police department. And all I did was continue doing what we've always done, when we realized as a team that it was a problem. So, I mean, it wasn't me that came to anything wrong, I just jumped my merry-go-round, was already turning, if you will, and continued doing what we've always done when I was taught to do it, that's all. So, and assault rifle sounds really bad, but it's just an AR. It's the same weapon that all agencies carry.
But it's anything, the gun safe that's in your house, half of that belongs to, we will have to. No, that's right, that's not right.
Not half of it.
Not half of it, it belongs to the town, if there's any money that goes into that.
Here's what's going to have to be worked out on these items is, and it's not you deciding this, and we don't have a statute to look at, it is the position of State Board of Accounts, that anything purchased with town money is town property. And that makes sense. I mean, I think we're stuck with the policy because that's what the State Board of Accounts has adopted, but putting it together and buying something. I understand that happened and it may have been innocent. It's a crazy practice. It just is. And the problem we have now is we have several items that were purchased with shared contributions. And so we have to unravel that. We have to sort of unscramble this egg somehow, and that's a decision that the council will have to make on a case-by-case basis, I think. I think moving forward, we're going to have to identify all of those items that were purchased in that manner. And with regard to all of those items, if the council ultimately decides that the town doesn't want that, with regard to the safe or with regard to this rifle that Officer Connors purchased and all the other items that we identify, I think that the town either takes possession of those items, and if an officer contributed his own money to it, then I think we've got to figure out a way to reimburse the officer for the money he spent on that item and take the item. If the officer believes it to be his own property and town money was spent, then if that's going to remain the property of the officer, then the officer's got to pay the town back the town's portion of that purchase. But it can't stay the way it is. It can't be shared custody or something. It can't be half owned by the town and half owned by the person. It can't. And again, I think I'm not supposed to have an opinion. I'm just supposed to tell you what to do. I have an opinion. I think it's something that is just wholly untenable and needs to be unraveled irrespective of what State Board of Accounts says. But State Board of Accounts says that it's town property. I think if we sit here right now, State Board walk in here right now, artists, it would say every one of those things belongs to the town, period. We don't, and if we ask them, how do we fix this? I think their position would be, we don't care how you fix this. It's town property. But in fairness to Marvin and Officer Connors and any of the others who have actually gotten in their own pockets and pulled that money, put it with town money to go buy something they wanted, they're out that money. And they're out that property. So I suspect that all of you, being fair-minded people, are going to want to resolve this somehow. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. And I think part of what relates to that is the position of the officer on any particular item. If they say, yeah, I really want that, then okay, well then give us the rest of the money, you can have it. And in other cases, they may say, well, if I'd known I was going to have to pay for it, I would have gotten it. I don't want that. We may end up having to try to sell some items to a subsequent purchaser and recoup some money somehow and get this worked out in a way where it doesn't do anybody any harm economically. But we have to fix it. The other problem we have is it's out in the open. And not that we should do things secretly and get away with it. I don't mean that. But it's something that we know about, and in order to be viewed favorably by State Board, we not only need to fix it, we need to act swiftly to fix it. It's like I did, sort of. I mean, you may contaminate something along the way. They're not going to come down here and kill you and impose a $25,000 fine and shut you down if they see that you're responding promptly to remediate the contamination. We need to act in order to fix it. And so I really also encourage the council and Marvin not to be sitting on this thing 6 months from now. I think the best we can do in the eyes of the State Board is to take our medicine and say, we messed up, but we fixed it. And I think if the audit goes well, I don't know for sure, my prediction would be if we do that and do it quickly, our clerk treasurer won't suffer any ill effects from it. I don't think the council will suffer any ill effects from it. I don't think Marvin will suffer any ill effects from it. And then going forward, we have to have a policy. My suggestion will be that there isn't a clothing and equipment allowance that gives to the officers any discretion to spend town money on items that they may need for themselves. My preference would be that they have a much smaller clothing allowance, $100, $200 a year, maybe $200 a year, and that they do get that money. They actually are given it like other agencies that you talk about.
Well, that's something that we'll do.
Right. And we'll ultimately get there, but we need to adopt that as part of this too. And we need to do that fairly quickly, but no more money gets spent at the discretion of the officer until we're on the other side of this. Okay?
That's in the plan. Also, I think we probably need an inventory. Do you can do an inventory of, what we do have,
That's the easiest thing. We can go back to the bills, the invoices, what the money that's spent.
You gotta remember that takes time in the PD, and here you don't own in the PD, so you don't need to, how do you do that?
I don't want to be smart enough to do like that.
No, I'm not smart enough. I just read it. I just read it. Because that takes time, and some of it I already have.
But that's the thing, man, you should be doing all the time. You should always know, how many guns does the town own?
Okay,
The county paid for an assault rifle. If the town's bought an assault rifle, and if it's registered to the town and it's in somebody else's trunk, I'm not happy about it.
well, it's not registered to the town. It's registered to him. So that loses liability there. But, yeah.
These are issues that we have to take care of. But we cannot, the State Board of Accounts has given us their opinion, and we have to go with what they say. We can't disregard
Well, another thing
what the
too,
State Board of Accounts has said.
jumping back to the tires, I've already used 2 tires. So these, 6.
Since last week,
Yeah, it's maintenance for the back of the car. The only reason I did that was I knew the cost goes up every year. I was trying to stock 4 for each car. I did blow a tire, and was without a tire, and the sheriff probably wouldn't only want theirs out of their stock. I would have been out of commission. I was just trying to prevent that. That's all.
somewhere this all needs to be written down. This all needs to be in a place where it's in writing, that we have these tires here, we have these guns, we have this ammo, we have this, whatever.
And also too, I want to make sure you guys know that.
Computers, all of it. We just need the inventory.
And I do, it's in different sheets. I can put it in an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. But it's important that the council knows, you presented some numbers over there, showing those numbers are growing. But we need a lot of stuff. Out of that 9,000, 1,700 is from Officer Swain for the academy, for uniforms and equipment, just for him, 1,700. And I think I spent 1,200 on a single radar unit, which is about not the cheapest I could buy. I next up. But that stuff's just going to get worse. It only replaced right now. That number's probably going to go up again next year. Because you want to start using my LAC money more. These we need computers, we need radar guns, we need a car. But I don't want it to look like that I'm out here just blowing this money. I'm just trying to get our park to where it needs to be. Because it's
And that's why we're coming out with an improvement plan. I mean, we're trying to help you, we're trying to help everybody involved. You say you did what people before you did, and we're not pointing the finger at past boards, but we're kind of in this mess because of what happened in the past too. But we have to correct it. It has to be corrected. It has to be corrected now, so we don't all get in trouble. So,
I just think that once you've been made aware that there's something wrong and that there is state guidelines and law out there that this is the way it's supposed to be done, that's what we have as a board have to do. We have to do what the state law tells us to do. And we can't say, well, it's not been done that way before, so we're not going to do that. I mean, that's my own thinking. That's the way I am. If it's the right thing to do, and the state says that's what you have to do, then that's what we have to do.
I'm going to say too, irrespective of what State Board of Accounts says, I'll tell you, State Board of Accounts has this policy because it's the right thing to do. I mean, instinctively, it's the idea that we're taking money and adding money to it to go buy things that are purely discretionary. That's not a policy you want to embrace, whether State Board of Accounts says it's okay or not. I think in conversations, you all have the sense that that's not the way to run a business. We just happen to have an overseer in the State Board of Accounts that says that's not the way to run a business. And we pay sanctions if State Board of Accounts discovers that we're not doing it right. But there are independent reasons to do it differently too. It's just a better way to do it. I mean, I guess my point is we're not doing this just to avoid getting in trouble.
No.
We're doing it because it's a better way to do things.
Well, it's a fiduciary responsibility of us as a board to see that
Yes.
our monies are spent wisely.
And the best interest of the town in every case.
comments? All in? Okay, last item we have, old business, we advertised for, this is on our checklist from rural, for us to get a building rehab. We received a proposal from Susan Allen and Tom Allen, architectural interior design plan. Their fee, and this is more extensive than the original submission, because they have to go through and do all the requirements all the way through on the project, according to federal guidelines. So it's the only one we received, and we need to make a move on that tonight. Their original fee, or their fee will be $17,000, 35% Part A deliverable when they get Part B done, another 45%. And they will go through the bidding with us. That'll be 5%, and then 15% in Part B. Is there a motion to accept the proposal from Susan May Allen Architects on the town building?
I move that we accept the proposal from Susan May Allen Architects for the drawing to the town hall and the police department for $17,000.
Okay, is there a second? Okay, discussion? I'll give you a copy of this for town records. No, Becky. Yeah, she had that for town records. I'll send it to Becky. I knew I had an extra copy. Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. We have no other business that I know of at this time. We're now open for public comment.
I got a contract for you.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. Back up, we got some more business. I couldn't find my contract, so I got to get one.
I printed it off another.
I had it last month. Before.
I have to, yeah.
We're glad you're here.
Okay. Take a peek.
2006, well, we've seen it, we have it.
Oh, you already saw it?
Yeah, you guys want to.
That's right, you saw that one.
Yeah, we have a contract from the Morgantown Fire Department, $40,000 a year. What was it last year? 36. Does it go up every year?
No, it went up 3 years ago, but since then, we now have ambulance service 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. We've got a beautiful four-wheel drive ambulance sitting out there in the bay that costs a pretty penny, but it'll be really beneficial for our communities, especially when the snow's on the ground, so.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the firefighting contract for 2016 for $40,000? Also moved, is there a second? Oh, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
You guys did great work.
Okay, motion passes.
We love what we do,
Oh, well, yeah, we are, gosh.
obviously.
You know, and when you look at, yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much. Public comment.
Guess that's me. I'm Ron French. For those that don't know me, I own French's Pub down there. I've owned it for almost 10 years. There's never, ever one time been a fight in there. I have never called the police department for anything. I have a perfect record. I have never checked my record. I have never called you guys. In those 10 years, I've raised $100,000 for Indiana Down Syndrome Foundation. I've bought Christmas presents for over 200 kids around this community. We've raised money for people that's house burnt down. The list goes on and on. I can write you a book on what I've done. I can guarantee you I've done more for this community than anybody sitting in this room. My complaint is about Officer Ryan. I don't even know his last name. I don't care what his last name is. He's not only pulling people over that were coming out of my establishment, but actually telling them that the reason that he pulled them over is because they seen him walking out of my establishment. I went and talked, I had a conversation with a judge. That's flat-ass harassment. Just flat harassment.
Okay.
I'm not done. I didn't interrupt you.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were. Go ahead.
He he's pulled over 2 of my employees for leaving there. He's pulled over 3 of my friends. These are 3 people that don't even know each other, and told them the reason that he pulled them over. 2 of them don't even drink. Guy hadn't drank in 30 years. It's bullshit, is what it is.
What did he tell them?
He actually told them that he pulled them over because he seen them walking out of my establishment. That's harassment, but
Who was it?
his first name's Ryan. I don't know him, don't care to know him.
Well, who are the people, though, the 3 that you say he had 2 employees and 3 fed, 2 are those people?
Those are my customers. That's who they are. They're my customers.
Well, I'm a customer too.
Well, I'm here to complain or fill out a formal report or do whatever you guys' procedure is. I don't
But we
care.
need to hear from those people, don't we? I mean,
If you want to, that's fine with me.
You're giving us hearsay.
That's fine. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
There's people sitting right in this room right now that will back my word up.
And they are,
You're backing your employees up. and we have
Damn
to-
right I am.
Well, we have to do the same thing.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
That's fine.
And I'm not saying you're wrong for doing it, but that's what we have to do also. So if you can have your employees, contact us or.
That's fine.
Yeah.
and there's people sitting in this room that have been told this by him?
No. I'm telling you, there's people in this room that verify my integrity, that know what I'm about, and that know what I do down there. That is not a that's not a problem spot down there. Like I said, I have never called the police. I have never, ever one time called you guys for anything. I don't allow nothing going on in there. There's never, ever been a fight. It's a clean little pub. It's not a neighborhood dive.
Well, most of us have been in there.
Well,
Consider,
well, a lot of people do, and I've heard that, and I'm just telling you, the police harassment is going to stop, or I'm going to file a lawsuit against you.
Yes, you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
Yeah.
But
And I will.
Yeah, but you if you can bring us, your employees, we're all
I can do that. I can bring you my customer. I can bring you whatever you want.
So he
If you're,
issued, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Did he issue these people warnings or?
Actually, yes. Actually, there is warnings. Yes.
So we'll have a copy of
Yeah, we
that.
got a copy.
Well, that's fine. I'm just telling you. My point is, he's actually telling them that the reason he pulled these people asked him why was I pulled over. He said because I seen you walking out of Frenchie's pub. That come on. You know what? I don't want to butt heads with you guys. I don't come down. This is only the second time I've been to this meeting in 10 years. But like I said, I don't have a problem spot down there. I have never, ever had that. I don't allow it. I don't expect to be harassed. It's a straight affecting my business. That you can't do that. You flat out can't do that. Like I said, I've already talked to a retired judge. It's harassment, flat out harassment. I did my homework, and I'm ready to proceed to do whatever the next step is. If you guys don't take care of it, I will.
Is that a threat?
Pardon me?
Is that a threat?
That's a promise. If you want to take it as a threat, you do whatever you want. I'm telling you, what if he doesn't stop harassing my customers, the next step's going to be taken.
Employees and 3 friends, and they were arrested, or they were given warnings after they left your establishment. You generally close by 9:10.
Yeah, it's not a late night. It's not.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not.
I know the hours he works, so it will be able to narrow that down real easy.
Well, that's up to you.
Okay, any other public comment? Jenny? I'm going through the report. Oh, okay. Oh, you are? Yeah. Oh, gosh. Wow, is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you.